The mattress behind me claims to be a game changer in terms of temperature regulation, stating that it sleeps up to 8 degrees cooler than your bed at home, all for under $450. But does it really? Well, that's exactly what we're going to find out in today's review of the SweetNight CoolNest mattress. Hi, welcome back to Sleepline. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing this mattress right here, the SweetNight CoolNest, across 5 distinct categories. And those categories are edge support, motion isolation, temperature regulation, comfort, and value and durability of the bed. At the end of the video, we'll give you our final thoughts to let you know if this mattress is worth your money or better off left in this review. With that out of the way, let's dive in. So first up is going to be edge support. In terms of edge support, we found the CoolNest to be just a bit lacking compared to the competition. This bed did not perform very well for me, and I'm a mid-sized guy coming in at about 5'10", 170 pounds. If you're my size or larger, you're going to find that this bed just doesn't really cut it for you in terms of edge support, and because of that, you're gonna have to scoot in just a bit. Now, it's not absolutely egregious, especially when you're actually laying in the bed, but where it becomes really apparent is when you're trying to sit on this mattress, say in the morning, put your socks on, or reading the newspaper. Okay, yeah, right, who reads the newspaper? But still, the lack of edge support is very clear when you are sitting on this bed. When you're laying, it's a little bit better, but still not in line with what I expect in a modern mattress. This is a bed that you're gonna have to scoot into, and what that means is if you sleep in this mattress with a partner and you're in a queen size or below, you're going to be losing a little bit of that sleep surface. So I hope you like to cuddle. Now, if you really wanna get into the specifics of it, I found that you have to scoot in about 2 inches before you feel like you're solidly supported across the surface of this bed. So where does that leave the CoolNest in terms of edge support? Well, just like everything else, we rate our mattresses on a 1 to 10 scale, and the edge support here on the CoolNest comes in at a 6 out of 10. By the way, we rate 7 as average, so this sits comfortably or uncomfortably below average in that category. Next up is motion isolation. So one great thing about the CoolNest is it is an all foam mattress, and all foam mattresses are known for having pretty much the best motion isolation in the industry. Why? Well, there's no coils in the bed, and because of that, it's all foam, like this piece right here, which they send in the box. We'll talk about this later because it does kind of show off some cool things. But point being, when a mattress is all foam, it really does a great job at dampening motion. This is a bed that you don't have to worry about feeling your partner in while you're trying to sleep, even if they like to jump into the bed at night for whatever reason. So that is pretty good. Anybody who struggles with partner disturbance in a mattress can rest easy knowing that the SweetNight is going to perform just as well as any other mattress out on the market and outperform the vast majority of them. And because of that, we give motion isolation a 10 out of 10. Now, 7 is average, but all foam mattresses typically score at least a 9. So big shocker there, right? Well, no, not really. That brings us to temperature regulation. Remember this guy? Yeah, I mentioned we'd talk about him later. Well, now is later. So let's go ahead and talk about it. What is this? Well, SweetNight sends this with every single CoolNest. It's kind of nice that it's a heart. That's cool. But beyond that, what's the point? Well, this is their foam that they claim does all the cooling work inside of their mattress, so you get a little bit of a sample of what is actually going on. So a couple cool things about this foam. One, it is laden with a PCM, and what that stands for is phase change material. Think of it like little wax beads. Phase change material is a material that changes from a solid to a liquid as it comes into contact with your body. Why? Because your body heat is melting it. And what happens when a phase change material or any material that your body comes in contact with melts is you feel cooler because heat always transfers from hot to cool. So what that means is this foam will sap the heat right out of your body, as will any phase change material. Now, a lot of phase change materials in the market are a bit scammy because they're a singular layer. We found that the integrated into foam approach, which a couple other brands do, is much more effective at continually keeping you cool throughout the night, which is a really good thing considering that this is an all foam mattress, which all foam mattresses sleep notoriously. Now, one other thing that you'll notice when you first look at this foam is it is also porous. You can see little tiny holes throughout the entirety of the foam, which allow it to breathe really, really well. Now, does it really sleep 8 degrees cooler? Well, there's another brand out on the market that claims they sleep 8 degrees cooler as well. And you may have heard of them, Tempur-Pedic. Actually, their latest models claim that they sleep 10 degrees cooler. And Tempur-Pedic mattresses, by the way, are about 10 times as expensive as what you're getting here. So are those mattresses ludicrously overpriced, or is this a bit of a gimmick and not really living up to its claim? Well, to understand that, we need to first talk about what that claim is against, right? In Tempur-Pedic's case, that's against their base level mattress. So if you buy an entry level Tempur-Pedic and you compare it with their top end Luxe Breeze model, that bed does sleep an average of 10 degrees cooler over an 8-hour period. They qualify it by not only comparing to a modern mattress that you can point right at, but also quantifying it over an 8-hour period rather than, hey, our mattress sleeps 10 degrees cooler for 20 minutes and then it doesn't really make a difference, which is what a lot of cooling mattresses actually do. That's not necessarily what this bed is doing here, but there are some pretty bold claims going on and none of them have a reference to anything else that I've seen. First and foremost, at the top of this cover, they talk about having 10,000 micro vents. No, absolutely not. This is a typical stretch knit cover, which is breathable. And when you zoom really far in, there's about 10,000 spots where the threading doesn't overlap and air passes through. That's not really anything special in comparison with any other stretch knit cover. Now, it is pretty cool to the touch. I will give them that, but come on. It sounds a little gimmicky to me. Anyway, beyond that, we do have their PCM infused memory foam, and it is actually a really nice feeling foam overall. It's a typical foam. It's not a memory foam. If it was memory foam, when I close my hand on it like this and let go, it definitely wouldn't turn into heart that fast, which means it's not offering quite as much pressure relief as a typical memory foam mattress. Now, this bed does have memory foam in it. It's just deeper in the mattress, and sadly, they don't give us a sample of that. Now, with this foam, though, they do make a claim that it is 3 times more breathable than a conventional foam. Well, conventional foam is a real loose definition, but I will say it is a pretty breathable foam and it does sleep pretty cool. That PCM seems to do a decent job overall. So it sounds like I've said one thing one moment, another thing the next moment. And what does it actually distill down to? And is this a cool sleeping mattress? Well, in terms of foam bedding overall, yeah, this bed does a really good job, especially at this price point compared to like any other foam bed that you're gonna find out on the market. Now, they are getting really overzealous in terms of their claims of 8 degrees cooler, 3 times more breathable, 10,000 micro vent. It all is marketing going just a little bit too far, in my opinion. But the end result is still a mattress that sleeps pretty dang cool, especially compared to most all foam bedding that we've tried on this channel. So if you are somebody who sleeps hot and you're on a tight budget, this is definitely the best all foam bed you're gonna find under 500 bucks. Probably the best all foam bed that I've seen under $1,000 actually as well. So if temperature regulation is a big deal to you and you're on a tight budget, this is probably the coolest all foam. Keep in mind, I said all foam, not coolest overall, but this is the coolest all foam mattress that we've tested under 500 bucks and under $1,000 because everything that they're doing here. And what that results in is a mattress that gets an 8 out of 10 in terms of temperature regulation. And that brings us to comfort. Everything that we've said up to this point doesn't matter if the mattress is uncomfortable. So how does it feel? Well, CoolNest says that this is a classic medium mattress. In our testing, we found it to be a bit more firm than that, coming in at a 6 out of 10 in terms of our firmness scale. 1 is as soft as it gets, 10 is as firm as it gets, and this thing is about a medium firm overall. In terms of pressure relief, it does an okay job. This is not the best foam in terms of pressure relief, and for side sleepers, we found that it is actually just a little bit lacking. This is a bed that would be a little bit too firm for me, and I am your typical mid-size side sleeper, so take that as you will. Smaller side sleepers will find this to feel even more firm, and larger side sleepers might actually find that this feels like a true medium mattress. Even so, I want to give a glowing endorsement to the CoolNest for side sleepers of any size, actually. In fact, I would say that this is a mattress that is just passable for side sleepers. Now, most back sleepers are gonna love the feel of this mattress. It's gonna be exactly what they're looking for. You get a little bit of pressure relief on top and a lot of support underneath. This is gonna be great for back sleepers of all sizes. Side sleepers will find this mattress to feel pretty dang good as well. Now, that is comparing it to mattresses at all different price points. If we're comparing it to mattresses that are priced in its category, this thing is notably more comfortable, and I would give it like 2 extra points over the comfort score that we do give it, which, by the way, is a 6.5 out of 10. And that takes us to the last category, which is durability and value of the bed. So the CoolNest is doing something really interesting to their support layer. Mimicking what most hybrid mattresses do, which is a zoned coil system, they are actually chopping out chunks of foam. It kind of looks like, I don't know, blocks and then putting softer or firmer rods of foam inside of those cutout chunks, depending on where you need the most support. It's a great idea in theory. However, my biggest concern is that you'll get a lot of issues that you get with any kind of egg crate foam, which by the way is that foam that literally rises and dips all over. That foam was super, super popular around 2010-ish, and it quickly has fallen out of most mattresses and only is seen in budget mattresses, which, yeah, I know we're talking about a budget mattress, but it's still important that you know this. The reason that that foam was really popular is because it feels really comfortable and it definitely targets the body perfectly in the very beginning. However, with the bumps and ridges and the difference in height, manufacturers found that that foam quickly compressed on those points that came up, and that caused the mattress to not feel super, super comfortable and caused the mattress to feel like it was sagging just a couple years later. Now, we can't say for sure that that's what's going to happen here because this is definitely a different implementation of that same theory, but I would be a bit wary if I was a customer looking at this mattress. Cutting foam chunks out of any layer of a mattress, to me, is just never the best idea in terms of durability. You're just asking for those sides to collapse in, and I'm worried that that's what's going to happen here 2-3 years down the road. Now, for mattresses under $500, we really only expect them to last you like 3, 4, maybe 5 years before they're not near as comfortable as they were when you got them. Yes, I know everyone has a 10-year or a lifetime warranty, but that doesn't mean that the mattress is going to be comfortable that long. And that's definitely the case here, because this is a bed that I would be concerned will lose its comfort in just about 2 to 3 years max, because this is the first iteration of this technology. If SweetNight had been doing this in their mattresses for, I don't know, 3 or 4 generations, we'd have some data to point to and say, okay, we were wrong. That actually worked pretty well, or hey, we were right, that doesn't work well, you guys should change it. But this is the first generation of a mattress that I've seen from them that has those cutouts, and just because of that, I would be concerned knowing what happened with a similar technology in the past. So in terms of durability, I would just be a little bit concerned isn't going to be as durable as most of the competitors that are living in this sub $1,000 price point. Now, this is a bed that does come in at like $449 US or something like that, which is an absurdly good price. And if you're looking at this bed versus like a $200 Amazon mattress, those beds, by the way, are only comfortable for like 6 months. This thing is a runaway win, but of course it's like twice the price. Now, what does that all mean when we're looking at a mattress in the sub $500 category? Well, you have some things to be wary about, but I don't think that this is a bed that's going to break down on you immediately. The value proposition is there. At $450, this thing definitely has its pros compared to a lot of the competition. That being said, there are definitely cons as well. This mattress doesn't really pass in terms of edge support, and the durability concerning those foam cutouts is also a bit of a concern. So it's really a mixed bag compared to most other mattresses out on the market. You've got some wins over here, you got some losses over here. In the end, you can't have it all, especially at this price point. Compromise is kind of the name of the game when you're looking at this. So if I was in this price category and I was looking at the pros and the cons, what would my takeaway be? Well, knowing what I know, especially if you're somebody who wants an all foam mattress, I would definitely roll the dice on this bed. I would. Yes, I'm concerned that it's going to break down in about 2 years, but I'm concerned that a lot of mattresses in this price point or below will break down just as fast or even faster. Now, there are mattresses that we can find that will last longer and will easily get you to 5 years. But like we said, trade-off is the name of the game. Those beds aren't often as comfortable or as cooling as this mattress is. Remember, this is a bed that we happily give an 8.5 compared to other mattresses $500 and below in terms of comfort. If you're at $1,000 and below, it drops to a 6.5 because I can find a whole host of beds that are going to do a whole lot of things better than this one does over that $500 price point. So the value proposition is pretty good. The durability proposition is a bit questionable. With that in mind, we give durability and value a 7 out of 10. And that means the CoolNest scores at a 37.5 in terms of our overall rating. And by the way, that is a solid C. See? Whatever way works, you guys get the point. This thing is a C, and that's about what I would expect for anything under $500. I don't think that you're going to find like an A. We might be able to find a B, but for that to happen, we're going to have to review a lot more mattresses in this price point. So we'll see. If your eye is on any mattress, by the way, in this price point, and you want to get our feedback, our thoughts, or even see it reviewed here on the channel, drop a comment below. Where do I put this? Sometimes I don't even know where to point, but either way, down below. So drop a comment down below, let us know. And if you want the most up-to-date pricing on this mattress and the best deal that you can possibly get, we do have a discount code linked below. And if you enjoyed this content, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe to our channel. It really does mean the world. We are a bit of a smaller channel, so every single interaction we get is one that we absolutely get like geeked for. Anyway, my name is Ethan. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.